Hello, Mr. Freeman. I'm doing okay, mate. Well, I've been up since 4:30 in the morning, believe it or not. I've been out last night. I've been on a bit of a bend, sort of on a bender, really. I've been celebrating someone's birthday, actually. Doing work, actually. So, been out with my workmates, getting heavily drunk most of the time, actually. I've been outside I just did a morning shift this morning and come back and sat my garden for a bit, have a few vodkas and coke, I did. In the garden, what a nice day it was, and obviously redid some trees have been done now, it's all been chopped anyway, so to give more room to the garden anyway. So I've been sitting there just enjoying the sun. I'm a bit, seem to be getting a bit red, a little bit still, but that's from yesterday and today as well. So there we go. But I'm fine, just hanging in there, really. How about yourself? I want to a trip in England next Tuesday. You are, mate. Yeah, absolutely. So, well, I'll be a nice time, mate. Have a lovely trip anyway. Depends what I'm doing, actually. I don't know if I'm doing the live stream on Tuesday or not. I don't know. I can postpone to another time, actually. I don't know. We'll see. Well, because this stream wasn't really planned anyway. Well, I planned for Wednesday, believe it or not. But then I think afterwards, I got asked to join the assistant manager's daughter on her birthday, which was yesterday. So I was going, if you remember, called me telling you last week, they're mainly they see a baby in my sister's hand. Oh yeah, so your niece, your niece and nephew, isn't it? Ah, that's okay. Yeah, I think was your nephew, was your niece that you mentioned? Because I do remember actually. Yeah, you were going to see down see your sister and the newborn anyway. It's a boy, so you're going and see your nephew. That's nice. Mr. Dude in Film Blog. Good to see you again, mate. Welcome back into the stream anyway. Sorry for the long delay. Just various reasons really to do with it. It's always a bit late usually because, I was working on Tuesday doing night shifts. Went drinking heavily with workmates on Wednesday, so it's postponed to here anyway. But it was nice, I have to admit. I did quite a few weird things. Well, to be fair, we went to two different towns really first. So we started from one town, started the pub first, then went to Sainsbury's, then we walked down to the other town, maybe like a 10-minute walk it is. Probably against my own best judgment. I did buy Fritz the Cat on the Fritz the Cat DVD set for him, maybe. Did you really? Christ. Was it a UK version, or was it an American import, or was it somewhere else? I'm interested now. So. As you can see, I'm drinking last night, so I have proof anyway. UK version. Okay. I'm going to Montrose tomorrow, and I'm going to go to a record shop in town to get some more vinyl. Good on you, mate. I did check one of your videos recently. I think it was yesterday, actually. See what you buy. I know you got some singles, actually. I actually, believe it or not, I did get in a box given to me by a family friend. They were moving house, they were, and a farmhouse, actually. And they gave them to me. And a couple of them, which I've actually found, I get most of my vinyl from there. Really, that's interesting. I think I paid too much for it, but I'm never going to get an amazing price. Never going to get an amazing price. Okay. Well, it depends how rare it is anyway. Like it's like depends how many they're produced. Actually, that's the thing, really. I was saying actually because I did check your video out one of your recent vinyl singles videos, Freeman, and some stuck out interestingly because I do want the Elvis and Pet Break the Way by Civil by Joe Fagan. I do want that, along with the second one, Get It Right and Back with the Boys Again, which parents have for many years actually. But I do own a copy of the Breaking Away single anyway. Normal Line Lights I do own as well in that box. I think what was the other one? Polls. I'm trying to think on the top of my head now. Again, because I did it last night anyway, so I had 3 hours sleep as well. Christ. Yeah, I do have a German version of Coonskin on order, and I'm still waiting for Amazon to hurry up with getting stock back in here. How's the weather like where you are in the area? It's been very sunny today where I am. Very sunny. It's been very sunny actually. It's all gone grey at the moment, but it's actually been pretty nice actually. I think the past couple of days has been pretty nice actually. Very hot. You're talking something like 22, 23 degrees roughly. You know, blistering hot. When I was on Wednesday, when I was out drinking, it was blistering hot, so I had to wear sunglasses, whatever, you know. Hello, Jack Williams. Nice to see you again, mate. Thanks for popping in. The USD of the American pop isn't too much, but I have to make a region zero for it. Okay. Ah. Okay. Speaking of which, actually, what Mr. Freeman has showcased, I do have some vinyl here. I've only got 2 vinyls to show you, actually. These are my recent purchases that I've actually got. The charity shop versions from Oxfam, really. But I might as well show them, actually. Actually, there's only 2. There's one from, let me have a look, 1986, and one from 1994. So here we go. Might as well show them now, actually. So, Mighty 11 Drops. This is the album Happy Head, 1986. I think this is the debut album. This is. It's in this little cellophane thing. Very much so. I'm going to take it out anyway. So that's the album itself. It's on Chrysalis Records. That is. Nothing too special. Side there. Standard black vinyl. Special label to it as well, actually, which is very nice. It's standing on the other side. That's nice. Nothing in the sleeve or anything. Sometimes I usually find stuff in the sleeves which is interesting. I do own a couple vinyl records that have photographed, like someone's photographs of them, believe it or not. A couple of times actually. Heavy Traffic is stupidly expensive on both formats. It was only released in the US and DVD and Blu-ray and our region locked. Shame. I think, you know, we definitely need like a UK version of that anyway, as we request, as requested really. So yeah, Mighty 11 Drops again from Oxfam, as you know. I paid $6.99 for it. I did on there. For what I recall, with these ones, my 11 Drops, they came out of that sort of what was it, that vinyl? No, actually. Like I said, version that the Enemy on Melody Maker brought out, C86 it was, and they were. I think that song Happy Head was on it as well, actually, if I can recall. But they were part of that thing. Stuff like Primal Scream, Half Man, Half Biscuit were on there as well. Quite a few people like Scream Blue Messiahs, I think they were, all sorts really. But it was that sort. I was probably interesting because I never actually own any albums like this, of course. Yeah, the US Blu-ray Heavy Traffic was released by Show Factory, but it does not operate in the UK. Right. Oh, shame actually. You thought Show Factory might do some UK distribution, very much like releases, you know. Who knows? There you go. That's one anyway. So that's an album. That's an official album. 86 Melody Drops. Second one is a band called Ash, called Trailer. That's 94. This is from Oxfam. Cost me about 20 quid. This does, because it's quite hard to find. I think. Guaranteed Real Teenagers. It says the back here. If I can say, where's the camera at? Balls. It's hard to describe. Hard to really move this camera sometimes. For what I recall, Ash are an Irish band. I think they formed in the late 80s, if I'm not mistaken, or in the 90s, something like that. And I do remember, the only reason I know about Ash is because I see a lot of their CDs and albums in china shops, really. So stuff like this, with this logo brand on it, it's like you can easily find CDs of it for about 99 pence, charity shops, really. But they're a good band, actually. This contains singles and B-sides, really. So it's like just album singles, and just got all B-sides from the other ones. I think that's like three. There's like 3 singles on here, I think, and maybe more B-sides, I would say. My First Cat was released by a pre-Arrow Films Arrow Video, which is also the UK rights to Heavy Traffic. I'm surprised Arrow Video hasn't got off their ass. Interesting. Sorry, I'm a bit. I don't know. I'm a bit sort of drunk anyway. I've again had vodka Coke just beforehand. Well, back in the sun really. So I'm also moving to cider now. So I might be a little bit off kilter throughout this live stream. So just bear with me, or get like a slap and munch and just tell me to wake up or something. I don't know. Indeed, that's interesting. That's okay. Just going back to this album anyway. Again, this is just a mini album, a mini EP type thing, filled with the old singles. What struck me, and again this goes back to stuff. I found these in the vinyl. Let me show you the sleeve first, actually, so I'll move on to what is included. So, collage there. You got the lyrics on the back there, and you've got master sleeve. I think that's the B side. A side's that thing with a baby crying in the back. I wonder if Shaq Collins is still there. I think he's popped out. I don't know. I'm not too sure. I wonder if Field also annoyed if Arrow released a Blu-ray version for its scout because it transfers both films on DVD. The transfers on both films on the DVD are a bit shit. I mean, I feel like they don't have like any, have the original negatives, don't they? Or the actual film itself. We don't know. Actually, I was really figure out actually. That's A side. That's the B side. I realised actually. So the baby on the side is the B side. Yeah. So there we go. And moving on to the other stuff. I'll show you what was included. I don't know if this is included with the other ones. I'm not entirely sure, but this contains lyric sheets, 4 lyric sheets within the sleeve. Well, what was in the sleeve? What we got here? So we've got Everywhere Is All Wild, and then we've got T-Rex. That's one. There's 2 songs that can. There's all lyrics on that thing. Interestingly, on that front. Nothing on that side. It's just standard empty, really. It's just lyric sheets on that one. And this one struck me quite a bit actually because this says 1977 on it. Now that was their debut album. I think released in 95, 96 that was. So I've got the lyrics all songs on here actually. So all these here. So stuff like Lose Control, Girl from Mars. You got Gone the Dream, Goldfinger. Not the Shirley Bassey song. It's a different one. I give you anything. Kung Fu, which was used in the Rumble in the Bronx, that Jackie Chan film from '95, as for the song over the end credits, that was used. That's on here. And flip side, you've got Oh Yeah, Innocent Smile, Lost in You, Let It Flow, Angel and Interceptor, and Dark Side, Light Side on here. So yeah. Basically, got songs from the Lay album, really. I saw a HD copy for Instacart on YouTube and it looked decent, but the print had seen better days. Probably because they haven't kept looked after it properly. I don't know. Depends how it's kept in storage all the time. I don't even know, really. It depends how you depends with films, really. It depends with negatives, really. How long, has it been, is the original version just gone? Has it just basically fade away, or is it just like a duplicate copy they've used from off of VHS tape or something? That tends to happen quite a bit. It even looks like the VHS quality. Colour finishing all over the place and looks quite dark. Oh, It's on like a very sort of like dark mood to it. I mean, it looks like it's like they've taken the brightness down or anything, that sort of thing. Really. No, well, it depends. Really, I mean, it depends what they get like it's like a superior US version. Then here in the UK we get a shit version. It's like when I had there's a film I got many years ago, Roger Corman film called Forbidden World from 1982. It was released, and what it was basically this on the cover. Let me show you what it is. I'll try and find it for you. What this version was. To be fair, I would avoid it really. Not the film, the DVD release I'm talking about. Let me find out what it is. Although something interesting is the Q marks are sometimes visible. Oh, okay. Look. Here we are. So this is what I got. This is the one I actually ordered it from a shop, my old music shop back in the day, and that was the one I got as a UK import. The US DVD from MGM has a better transfer for sin. Again, true. I mean, this is what I'm bringing up as well. Because we have this UK DVD here, released in the UK since whenever 2008 or something. The transfer shit. The transfers on this is bloody shit. Compared to the Shell Factory ones that they released in the US, quality's better because basically this is the theatrical version. There's a director's cut called Mutant, and the quality it's heavily grainy as fuck. It is, and it's not the best at all. It really isn't. So I would avoid this release. Get a US import, I would say. I've always been getting a US import. It's done by two film Metrodome Novax Pictures, if I'm not mistaken. If I can really say that. That's what they distribute it anyway. Part of the Roger Corman collection. To be fair, well, I look at this. It looks like it belongs to you get a magazine or something free in the magazine, like you used to get. Many times. Now Let's Cat has better transfer, but it's not in anamorphic widescreen. Oh. So it's like its original like 16:9, or is it like 4:3? Is it just like cramped or anything like that? Okay, seems interesting. Bit of an odd thing to do, really. But I think it depends how it's filmed, really. It depends what widescreen sort of like like how they filmed it. Just depends. Although sometimes they can probably end up. Oh, yeah. Got a lot of hair in my mouth. Sorry. Oh. That's it. Got a hair in my mouth. Sorry. 16:9 is in a 4. Oh, really? Oh god. That's basically compressed, is it? Yeah. So is letter and pillar boxed? Oh god. Yeah. So it's basically like, again, bringing like a cramped, it's like a cramped squashed image, isn't it? That sort of thing. The first film is in 4:3. So is that how it originally came out in 4:3 originally, or how it was filmed on, or was it just like again just a VHS transfer? Hmm. It's open matinee, so nothing cropped. But the US DVD and HD versions are 16:9. Okay, all right. Hmm. That's interesting. What was I going to say? Oh, speaking of which, because you remember you emailed me your scripts, those two little scripts, one the feature film, one. Let me have a look. Where are they at? Geo Breakout and 20-Year Bloodless. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. You sent me. I actually had a little read. I had a little check out Geo Breakout first, actually. I actually thought pretty good detail, I would say. Arrow was so cheap used in Australian Umbrella Entertainment Master for the okay. Yeah, but actually, going back to your script, actually, it was actually again pretty good. I was sort of looking through it actually. I thought this guy actually it does again. Read and actually look at this like reading the bit actually doing like what do you call it? Traditional like technique again. Trying to emulate drowning, like putting like a cloth on on someone and putting a jug over them, like pouring a jug over them, that sort of thing. I thought that's interesting. I sort of read halfway through it. I did, but that has potential. It does. As an independent film, it does have potential. It does. I have to admit, very good. What we got there, indeed. I actually haven't checked the other one actually. 20 Years Bloodless. Really. But I thought, again, pretty good actually. I was quite very impressed, really. I was very impressed with Geo Breakout, actually. I was really, again, it keeps you grounded, it does, for the moment. It's like, there's always something going on. I actually really enjoyed it. I did. Well, first half, actually. Still need to get around to the second half anyway. But I'll get time to do it anyway. But just going through it, actually. I thought, just, yeah, it's definitely worth something. Put a lot of effort into it, a lot of good effort, and it's just like it sort of goes well, nicely done, very good. I still need to read 20 Years Bloodless though, just to get a grasp on things with that one as well. But I'll have time to see it anyway. But if you send that for like an independent company, then probably maybe give it a chance. Who knows? That sort of thing, or just do it yourself, really. There is potential in that script, in that story that you've probably written. I don't know how, maybe a year or two or something like in the making. But again, it does have strong potential. It does. I have to admit. See, you actually read that again. Pretty does. Yeah, I would say so. Glad you liked it. I think I made it a little too dark. Mean-spirited in a mean-spirited sense, but I think it depends on the person. Yeah, it depends how you write it. Really, it's like you think like I think it has to be sort of mean-spirited in some places. Depends how you really want to picture it. Really, do you want to think of something like you think? I think you're basically thinking like those gritty direct-to-video DVD releases, or do you think of? I always think of in terms of like prison films. I don't know if this is a film. I always think of like was it Alan Clark's Scum? I always think of that as like grounded, quite brutal film actually. I haven't done that for years. Both the original BBC version that was released on TV and the '79 film version of it, released in '79. It is quite brutal. It depends on how it was at the time. It's a bit over the top as well. Depends on your taste, really. If you like it mean spirited over the top, just feel free. It's that sort of thing. It just depends on your taste. I think with my stuff, it can be quite dark as well in places. Mean spirited depends. Maybe you have to be mean spirited in one place. Like really to ground, maybe give a little story something, a bit more edge to it. It's like you'll probably end up stabbing the main character in about 20 minutes or something. And he's like, you know, for the rest of the story, he can probably just be, you know, sort of limping on or something. I know, you're the worst critic. Fair. I know, I don't know. You know, I am the worst one, so that's a good thing. The worst critic. The original being dubbed as the worst critic ever. Yeah. Put on the little wallpaper or something like that, on a little bio or something. That'd be nice. It's probably a t-shirt, that isn't it? I could probably wear it doing videos, doing reviews or something. Who knows? Indeed. Who knows? Well, I've been watching stuff recently. I've been sort of binge watching TV actually. I've been watching the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, the 80s Grenade TV show with Jeremy Brett and David Burke, if I'm not mistaken. David Burke, yeah. I watched the first two actually, Scandal Bohemia and The Dancing Men. I thought that was pretty good actually because I got a bit bored really at some point. And I thought, well, no, I was crank out the old box set anyway. And I watched the first two. I really enjoyed it actually. Scandal Bohemia is actually a really, really good story, I have to admit. I really enjoyed it. It's the old saying, you are your own worst critic. And I think it fits in real law creatives. That's true, in a way. It's like, depends what you made, really. If you feel, well, it depends, it sort of depends how you feel, really. It's like sort of nitpicking the work or anything else. It's like, you know, sometimes you sort of blub out stuff. I mean, like like what I do. I review movies sometimes. I just improvise really on the top of my head, really. No script or anything. I just improvise. It's probably not the best representation of it. You know, it's like a weird first thoughts thing type situation. In a way, even though I've been doing it for about 4.5 years of it, and it's like I watched The Devil's Advocate on Sunday. It was really good. I haven't watched Devil's. I need to see Devil's Advocate. Probably need to at some point. What was I thinking? What was I watched? I'm trying to think of any good films I saw recently. I did go to the cinema and see A Quiet Place 2. That springs to mind. Recent film. I actually went to the cinema actually in COVID restrictions. Went there anyway to see it. I thought it was a pretty good film. Really good. I think I mentioned this on the previous live stream anyway, but it was good. I did. It goes a bit heavy with Kelly Murphy taking over and Emily Blunt's sidelined for most of the film, really, in that regard. But it is interesting. I really do appreciate. Again, well, I mean, the first one's good. First one's good, and this one. It's on par with the original as well. I mean, still not against John Krasinski. Yeah, I pronounced his bloody name or something. I don't know. Emily Blunt's husband. Obviously, actually found I think recently he didn't want to. There was no intention to do a sequel, but the studios wanted because of how the reception of it was pretty good. So end up doing a sequel, really. I don't think they'll do a third one. I doubt it. I have a watch pile next to me, including the Scream sequels, the 2 French Connection movies, One Flew the Cuckoo's Nest, Taxi Driver, and Nine Lives with Fritz the Cat. To be fair, I was in my local CEX recently, and I did see the double box set of the 2 French Connection films, and I thought about, that'd be interesting about it, actually. I never go around to it, really. Because I do on the first one, to my knowledge, I think I do, actually. But I thought, well, I was on the fence really, but I never actually bothered getting it really, because I was trying. Well, there's some interesting things. I mean, the Scream films, I don't really. I mean, I still need to see Scream actually at some point. Depends. I think the first time I knew about Scream was to do. I don't know if it's actually to do the same film or something. I really find it funny then this pile is all 18 films, 18 rated movies. That's fair. I mean, what have I got on this pile? There's many TV stuff. Actually, a couple of films, TV stuff. I mean, the only films on this pile facing me just here. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Tarantino film, 18 rated. Bill and Ted, Face the Music, PG. Waxwork, 18. And Last American Version. I don't think that's a German import, so it's like 16 mature thing, but it's 18 here in the UK. When the Wind Blows, that's PG, and double box of Wash It Down, The Wind of the Willows, and BFG. That's where EU that is. So yeah, and then James Bond films at the bottom here. It's like all 24 films. Anyway. I really like the first Scream film. I still need to see it anyway. What do you remember the members of the House Martins? Paul Heaton, Stan Conner, and Noel Cook. So your fabulous name. I'll probably say Paul Heaton actually in that one. Once Time in Hollywood was the last film I saw in the cinema. Really? Oh, that's interesting. For me, I think before the pandemic it was Joker I saw, because I remember seeing 3 films in 2019. Hobbs and Shaw, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and then Joker. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood I wanted to see. Hobbs and Shaw was on a whim with a couple of mates. They wanted to have a bit of fun, see a film, and so we saw that film. I need to watch When the Wind Blows. Definitely, mate. Definitely. It is one of those. Let me show you. Oh, this thing. I got this from him. I got eBay last year. Underrated Nicholas. I want to say Nick. I'm not Nicholas Briggs. Raymond Briggs. Why am I saying Nicholas Briggs for a strange reason? Underrated. And someone has forgotten Raymond Briggs' adaptation really. But yeah, there were very few 18 rated movies coming out. I think there is, yeah. Not much of, yeah. There's not much of a market now, isn't there, in terms of 18 rated movies? There should be more actually. There needs to be, But they seem to be just like sidelined to like the DVD direct to DVD section, really. That sort of thing. But I mean, who knows? But going back to this, I won't spoil it, but it's lovely, well done. Great direction by Jim Murakami, who I remember actually did a section for that film Heavy Metal we did in 1981. But definitely worth checking this out. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it is definitely wonderful, harrowing, and sad. That's what I could say. And the Play Dogs I do watch. Play Dogs. I've never seen Play Dogs actually. I probably need to. I know Steve Reviews did a cover of Rain Dogs. No, Play Dogs. What am I saying? Rain Dogs. Play Dogs. Rain Dogs is Tom. What am I thinking of? Tom Waits. That's not his album. Also, I think they're more relaxed. As lower ratings, you expect. Ironically, they got stricter. That sort of thing. It's like, let me have a look. Let me read this out. Same thing applied to this as well with the original Wash It Down. Again, it's still a rate U if I bring up the disc. It's a. Let me find out. It's still rare U. Still has its university certificate rating to it. Strangely, considering what's included in it. If you've ever seen Wash It Down, I think most people have actually. Great film, but obviously it's questionable for its censors. I don't know why it's still rare U. There's a lot of gore in it, quite a bit of gore, death, and just horrific imagery involving mutilation and just fights and stuff. Interestingly, a bit of a weird choice as well, actually, to include it with some Costco Hall stuff. I have to admit, I only sort of bought it for the original film anyway, because what you done is you, but yet it's dead brutal, and yet Frozen is PG. Yes, why is Frozen PG? I never understood that. You know, it's lovely musical and everything else, unless it's got like, well, they say it's got like, you know, moderate threatening scenes or something. Who knows? Well, I don't know really, that sort of thing. I mean, when the wind blows, it could be a 12 rated, you know, judging about what you can see. You see 2 old people die from radiation poisoning, which is not the best. It's very unpleasant, and the so slowly deteriorate. That should have been rated 12 or something, in a way. Who knows? Well, it was, you know, stuff like what else got here, BFG, Wind the Willows. You know, it's like that they're fine now because it's all gentle. I mean, from my knowledge, nothing very friendly happens in BFG, and to my knowledge as well, I don't think nothing ever happens with the Wind and Willows of the 83 movie. You're going now, Ben. Best of luck, mate. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again for next week anyway. Best of luck. Play Doses PG. That's a bit of a turn off the books. I thought it'd be rated U or something. Who knows? Yeah, it seems weird. I always find stuff that's always with ratings, certificate ratings sometimes. It's like, I think I mentioned it a few times, like with Starship Troopers, when it was released, it was rated 15. You can see when you're about 15. When it came on VHS in about 98, rated 18. You know, it's, again, it could be like a weird thing going on with that sort of stuff. It's like with Die Hard. It's like, when it first came, well, Die Hard 2 actually came out, it was rated 15, now it's 18. Obviously they extended it, I would say. What was the other one? Terminator, the original 84 one. That originally came out 18, most of the time actually. I think when it first came on DVD, they lowered the rating, to my knowledge. Why? I don't know. I think it's, I mean, when I first watched it in VHS, it was rated 18 for the old Virgin label. I can definitely tell why it was like that. Freaky as fuck. Gave me nightmares for a few days, and yep, scared to live in Virginia Stanley for a while, because I was 9 years old when I first saw it. I did see number 3 first, then I saw the first one. Different. There was something. You know, obviously it's brought down to 18, 15, excuse me. For some bizarre reason. I do want a UMD version of that actually for the PlayStation Portable still, surprisingly. But it's like that sort of thing, because it's all the body horror stuff that you get really. Die Hard 2 was 15 original, but when it was released, it was very heavily. It was very heavily, okay. 18 at home video, but now it's on 15 on cut. Oh, okay. I always thought, when I first knew about the Die Hard series, I always thought like this 1 and 2 were rated 18. When I got the Die Hard 2 VHS of it, it was rated 15. I thought, oh, that's strange. That's bizarre. Why is it 15? Why is it not 18? Because I tend to associate the first 2 films rated 18. I think it's because I found a box set when I was in a B&B in Gloucestershire many years ago, a long time ago. I think about 2006, 2007. 2006, I would say. Just the cabinets actually, like on the lobby area, it was just on its own gathering dust. Oh, that's an interesting thing. But I always assume that Die Hard 2 has always been rated 18, really. Obviously, it's good. Heavily cut. So it was heavily cut when it first came out in theatres. Then the, you know, prototype video added the elements in, bumped on the certificate. Now, obviously, with DVD, I think you get a lot of where you get a lot of stuff away from when you was like 18 or something, you know, or 15 actually. The panel scan VHS was 15. It was heavily cut. The widescreen VHS was 18 uncut. Okay, so like later down the line, it was probably again reissued in widescreen. Oh yeah. Yes, indeed. Trying to think now. Yeah. Just thinking the top of my head. Actually, I'll be back 1 sec. Here we go. What was I looking for actually? What was I thinking? I'm sure there's other things that I remember seeing like that. Going back to them when they released them back early good. What's the ones? I'm not sure how that Endgame was sold for 15, then bumped to 2018. I'm not too sure. If you know that one, the 4 pilot film, if you're familiar with that one, with who, I mean, it's Christopher Lambert, of course, but he's also got the guy from the TV series as well, his supposedly cousin, Connor and Duncan MacLeod. I'm not too sure if it was, when it first came out, if it was rated 15 or was it 18, I'm not too sure, really, on that front. I really don't know, actually. Obviously, I know when I first saw DVD. Actually, going to the Terminator 1 saw a VHS reissue from 2000, and it was 18. And the first DVD was 15. Both with identical covers. Oh. I mean, throughout the whole VHS period, it's probably rated 18, so maybe they sort of assume, really. And then obviously, later on, really. Let me have a look, actually. Because I'm pretty sure I did see, you know, one, I'm not too sure. Just give me a second. Let's get it's around. Is it anywhere? Well, I was looking for the Terminator thing that you mentioned, the 2000 version. I stumbled across. I don't know if that's match or right. I don't know if that's like fake patching or whatever, but that could be like a production error. I don't know. Ray PG, that is. Bad Boys 2, Terminator 3, and Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. That's interesting. I can zoom in a bit more. Well, at least your kids are entertained for a good while. You can watch Bad Boys. You can watch Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Lucy Liu, Cameron Diaz, and Drew Barrymore. That's strange. That is absolutely strange. Does it say it's actually PG? I don't know. This was. I don't know. It doesn't really say. Well, TV must have another pack shot. Max, that would be true actually. It must be. Who knows? Yeah, like early version of that. Anyway, I'm looking at that version of that. Go back to the Eternia one. At the time, show me. Come on. Ooh. Terminator 3 was 12 in UK, but the US for some reason. Oh. Must be the violence, I would say. I think it depends. I think it's. I think when they try and market it in the US, I'd probably say it'd probably be. They probably assume it's same with the first two films. It's like well, the first one's an NC-17, the other one's rated R. It's like it must go the same way, unless there could be like some weird director's cut, or something like that, sort of extra material. Who knows? Oh, I think I know what you mean. That special edition. That's what it is. I do with the Terminator 2 is always rated R. Absolutely. With that first one, Jesus Christ. I mean, it is good. It's my it's actually out of the series, and it's always been my favourite. That has. I think once you watch a film, that sort of gravitates you, but it also that scares you to death. Like if you see, it's like you see a film in the cinema back in the 70s and 80s, that sort of thing. You so look at it, you think, fucking hell, my God. It's like that was the same thing to me when I saw that film when I was about 9, and it was that sort of thing. It was mind blowing stuff, but freaky as hell. Down to the makeup, Arnold's performance, how he actually looked at that film. Very sweaty, very different, compared to what he later become in the series. You're looking at this film, it's a totally different, very different it's a different performance in a way, but it's tense. It is tense. Yeah, the first one's the best. I always say the first one is the best. A lot of people say Terminator 2, which is fine, really. But in fairness, I always prefer the first one. Really, I think down to seeing it. 2 is also brilliant, but it's too long for its own good. The first one never gets boring, but the first two has a few fun moments. That's true. Mind you, Cameron keeps extending the bloody thing, doesn't he? With release after release after release. Really, it's like when you look at again, when the special edition came out, like around the same time, 2000, 2001, again, it extends. Mind you, Cameron does it with most of his films, really. Blade extends it, adds more footage, everything else. It's that sort of thing, really. It depends a bit. I don't know if it might be his idea. I don't know if it's some public crew's idea. I really don't know, really. But it's like you get the original version, then later down the line, like the 90s or something, you get extended edition of the Terminator, Aliens, The Abyss, more footage of The Abyss. I'm not sure about True Lies. Not too sure about that. But those three main films in the 80s. Actually, again, Terminator 2 as well. I always keep thinking Terminator 2 for some strange reason. Like when I think of James Cameron, I think Terminator, Aliens, Abyss, then True Lies for some bizarre reason. I keep thinking Terminator 2 his film. I always keep forgetting that as well. Like, he directed. He did the story. He directed the film. It's kind of it's that weird blank spot in my head for some strange reason now. I'm not too sure why. It's a really bizarre thing. I'm just going to check on eBay actually, because again, you've intrigued me now with this special edition VHS actually of the Terminator. It's always seen like in box sets as well. Like you always pair it with Commando, Conan the Barbarian, and that's all. And what's that? You always see them in the supermarkets. You think, as a kid who really enjoyed Arnold, the version I saw of Terminator 2 was the cinema cut, as far as I can tell. It's like the original version that come out, rather than the whole extended extravaganza. is known as. I'm just really looking for a special edition. If it does it exist? Oh, well, one thing I found. Ooh, never seen this before. Ah, now that's Terminator and Running Man together. I never actually knew they did the box set together, like a double features box set together. Virgin released as well. Virgin and Taft. Okay. Running Man. I remember that film. I've only seen it once though. I've actually. Did I buy the DVD recently? I don't know. Like a standard DVD, I don't know. Who knows? Yeah. I did see the blue. See, I saw like a standard issue Blu-ray of that somewhere, like in Morrison's as a metaphor. That's just. Oh, ah, found it. I found what seems to be the last time here in the UK like you mentioned before, the special edition. Ah, interesting. Because I never knew about this actually. With obviously again, I'm not different. I never knew that actually the VHS version was again 18 rated. So the last ever time it was rated 18. Oh, that is absolutely interesting. That is absolutely fascinating. That's fascinating. That is really. Ooh. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Oh, I'm going. What's happened here? Hmm? There's another as well. Yeah. So that's special edition. Yeah. Wow. It's always been about that. That's always been striking. That has anyway in some places. I think they tend to they use it on DVD box sets as well as I mentioned before, which I might have a look as well because I did see quite a few of them actually. Indeed. So let's look at Schwarzenegger box sets. I think my favourite Schwarzenegger DVD box set I have to say is that's one that Studio Canal released, which was the one that featured Total Recall, Red Heat, Raw Deal, and Red Sonja. That's probably my favourite out of the bunch. You know, over time you basically get like retreads of like you have the Terminator, you've got Commando, you've got Conan the Barbarian, and other ones you've got Predator on. Other times you don't have like the other ones really, but that Studio Canal one I always thought was interesting because I always wanted that. I did. It's always been one that I've always been looking for. Because I remember seeing years ago back in Forbidden Planet years ago, a long time ago, and I thought, oh, that's interesting. I didn't get it at the time, but I did buy it years ago. That's the one. Yeah, it depends on the studio, really. Yeah, indeed. So, if I bring this forward, that's probably my favourite in terms of Schwarzenegger's. If you want a Schwarzenegger DVD box set, that's my favourite. That is. Yeah, Total Recall, Red Heat, Raw Deal, and Red Sonja. So that's 1985 to 1990. That is. Pretty good film. Oh, there's two good films. There's two duff films. Total Recall and Red Heat are probably the best ones. I really do enjoy them. Raw Deal's strange. It's an odd film. Good soundtrack. There's some good music in it as well. Like can cheap 80s stuff, but it's a really good soundtrack. And Red Sonja, I've actually never really seen Red Sonja in a way. Never really have really. Ooh, what the hell's this? I think I found another one. All right. This one's strange. What's in here? I want to know. Come on. Nope, nope. I really am looking now. Actually, I thought I saw something. So this is the one. When's this came out? Don't know actually. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Well, it's like you know, they did this version. Now I see what they've done. I know what they've done. So there's this version as well. I've noticed, but I think, to my knowledge, that has that's like the in a plastic cases as well, rather than the one I've got. It's like similar and like a disc tray. You know, these ones they're actually all together anyway. Together as one, yeah. Singly, like you get them like a single disc. That's interesting. I think there'll be another one popping up at some point anyway. But that is good. I always prefer that little slimline version. I always do. 2009 that was released. Okay. Ah, yes. Yeah, it was released. Yeah, I know Jesus and Roger, but love hated when Sonia. There's a review of them taking the piss out of it. So it's like so they say like it's a guilty pleasure, like the love, but the love or the love hated Ritter. Ah, okay. But I never really, I just want to see that actually at some point. It's not in the collection, wherever it is. I don't know. Indeed. So that's the one I do own a version of Red Heat actually singly. That version of Red Heat I do actually own. Indeed, I don't own any of the rest, unfortunately, singly. Oh, that's the one. What's this one? Oh. Speaking of which, oh yeah, that was the one you put on. Was this a Stallone version DVD box set? You did a Blu-ray version, a Blu-ray box set, didn't you? And it's what was on it? I'll have a look as well because I'm trying. What was it? Because I thought again that seemed like the yin yang to Schwarzenegger and Stallone. That does. Uh, this one. I always think that's like the similar thing to the one that Studio Canal released. Again, very similar thing in a way. Some of these are actually I did own actually on VHS many years ago, a long time ago. So, well, let's have a look. So, because you own the Blu-ray, you own Blu-ray of this, you do. Well, I can remember you actually did a video of this. That one. Some of these ones I do actually do know actually. Let me think. Yeah, it was a Stone Blu-ray set, so the same one you got. Obviously they packaged it wrongly, didn't they? Of how it is, like out of order in terms of packaging. But just there we go. Imagine the Schwarzenegger one is like in reverse. It's like the very round, isn't it? It's off Puerto Rico, and you go to Sonia. That's how they bloody package it. Can they do the right? I think when I got it, I think I did the right way actually. I put Red Sonia first, then down to Puerto Rico. I think I did that. Yeah, again, these films are owned by Warner Bros. Absolutely. Well, I do feel like it's a very similar thing. Like these two, like these ones are not like well known. I would say you think it's not like you put on. It was only until it actually was one of the last purchase you made before lockdown. Okay. Yeah, indeed. I think what I'm trying to I think what I mean to say is with this one, the films that are included are not representative of like Stallone's career really. I mean, you do have some like the sort of lesser known stuff. I keep mine out of order. Oh dear. So like randomly. Or do you follow the district? So you follow Cobra, then you follow Assassins, then Tango Cash, then the Specialist, then Demolition Man. Or do you go If you're done ahead, Cobra, Tango and Cash. Then it's Demolition Man. Then is it The Specialist and Assassins? If that's right, I'm not too sure really. How some of these films, I know some of these films I'm familiar with really. I mean, 3 of them I'm familiar with. I am. 2 I did own years ago, long time ago, many years ago on VHS. 1 I got the soundtrack to actually on vinyl. And the other 2 I don't even bloody know actually. I mean, let's start with this list anyway. Cobra, I know about Cobra. I do on the soundtrack to it on vinyl. It was only cheap, it was about £3 it was. In order the box set on the box set side. Okay. So you just basically, yeah, good. So Cobra's first, then you finish off with Demolition Man. Okay. Cobra I do well, the soundtrack I do. I do actually like some of the stuff that's on it. I mean, the song I always love is Jean Bouvet, Feel the Heat, which was used in the first trailer. Which is a good trailer. Really good stuff, actually. I mean, the music feels really good. You know, if I can sort of maybe get it on, actually, because I do think it's one of the best. There's some good trailers out there. That's some actually really bloody work they do. That one actually kills it. It does. The soundtrack to it still works. I'm trying to see if I can try and find it for. Not that one. It's always the alternative one. There we go. So Screen Factory have done this version. Cobra is like it was kind of like an 80s Dirty Harry. No one's near as good as Dirty Harry, but it's still pretty good. I've never seen Cobra, so I don't really comment on it. I've only just got the soundtrack to it. I've only seen the trailer, which I'm sort of bringing up, this original version of the trailer, which sort of really got me into like what this film was like, sort of like really. I know it's directed by George P. Cosmatos, who did Rambo First Blood Part 2. So he worked with Stallone beforehand. Yeah, George P. Cosmatos. Again, oh yeah, First Blood Part 2, yes. I do remember, because I was familiar with that film first, then this one. I didn't know he did directed Tombstone as well. That's one with Val Kilmer. But I really don't know. I'm looking at you now, but I've never actually seen it fully. I've only ever seen like this trailer and the soundtrack as well that I do own. Ow. With that song included, that is good. That is. It just fits. It does. It's also breeding a new kind of cock. It's all fuck shooting that does. That song with mixed with the trailer. It just works. It does. Again, probably playing a theatre, you think, go see this. You know. I think that's how I really got into this, know about this film. This was for that song. Really good. Sorry, this is a really good song, that is. So I do on vinyl. I do soundtrack, just cheap from my local, my now local record store. They were selling for about £2-3 actually. That's pretty good. Assassins, I have no clue about. I think that's with Antonio Banderas, but that's about it really. Tango and Cash, that's with Kurt Russell. Don't know anything about. I've never seen that one as well. The Specialist, I actually had on VHS. My parents had on VHS at the time. That's for Sharon Stone. That is 94. That is. I never saw it though. But it was always remained in the collection. It did for many years. Assassins is a bit naff. He's a bit naff. Okay, well, I've never seen Assassins, so I really can't really tell that. I can't really tell. That's a Richard Donner film, isn't it? That's. Let me have a look. Assassin. I think it is Richard Donner who directed Assassins. It must be. It is, yeah. A story by the Wachowskis. Okay. Tango and Cash is pretty fun. It was the last major movie released in the 80s. Really? Right towards the end of 1989. Because, well, really. Yeah, Richard Donner. Yeah, I just found about that actually now. Yeah, so that was in between Lethal Weapon 3 and 4, wasn't it? Yeah, so in between there. So yeah, what was it 93 to 98? I'm not sure what Richard Donner actually did else in between them films. Really, I'm not too sure. I'm gonna have a look now actually, just in case. So I think that's probably why I didn't bit naff. Probably didn't do well to do a fourth Lethal Weapon film. He also did the Omen, which I saw many years ago, a long time ago. Really, that was one filmography. Let's have a look. No, I did think of Conspiracy Theory between. Okay, Ian, Mel Gibson. Oh, something has popped up. When I was looking through Richard Donner, there is something I've noticed. Oh. Mm. So his last film was 16 Blocks in 2006. However, something's popped up. I don't know if this is true or not. What does it say? But there was something I found out, especially as Scrapped has my Letterboxd review said 2 hours explosions, Stallone's ass crack. Oh, really? Oh my god. I've never seen that. I've only had, well, it's always been sitting in the VHS shelf many years ago, back in the 90s or whatever, when my parents had it. So I never really said, Demolition Man is good. That is the other one I was meant to call. I do, Demolition, that is good. That is very visually done, wonderful. Great casting, great Stallone, Snipes, Sandra Bullock, absolutely. Very futuristic as well. Love. I mean, it's interesting premise as well. Like he's been cryogenically frozen. He's brought out things like '96. He was originally from. Now he's like heavily in the far future. You know, and it's again sort of like the Three Seashells, whatever. I had that on VHS as well. I think I have the DVD version as well somewhere. I think, but I remember on VHS. But again, not a film I actually saw, but I came to really appreciate what was included through Oliver Harper's retrospective of it when he covered Demolition Man many years ago. Yeah, it was really something to really get into. I mean, same like always add some funny bits with Snipes in as well, like the ticket machine, like he's shouting profanity and stuff like that. And he gets some warning tickets, like he pulls out like "fuck you," and keeps going on. He keeps getting tickets after ticket. The Goonies, that was a film my mum introduced me to actually. I've seen The Goonies a couple of times. She got into DVD many years ago because she thought, it's like a film she remembers seeing back in the day, back in '85. And the first Superman. And to be fair, this is going to be some. I don't know. I can't really get into Superman, really. I've seen Superman Returns, but that just bored me to death. That absolutely bored me to death. The Superman films, the Christopher Reeve ones, I really can't get into. I don't know why. They never really appealed to me. Even though I was seeing it advertised many years ago when Warner Brothers advertised it, like in the first one, it never really caught my attention. Really, they never really do. I don't know. I don't find Superman very appealing. Really, if you have to say Superman and Batman, Batman's really the one I remember growing up really because I had two of the films. Growing up, I was familiar with Batman for a long time as a kid. Batman Returns and Batman and Robin were the films I remember. Superman Returns is fucking dull. It is. It's also got the director Bryan Singer attached as well, so I don't really. That's really a bit of a bad sign, isn't it? Bryan Singer's name attached to it. It's like, oh god, this is why I really hate it. This is why I fucking hate Bohemian Rhapsody for. That's one main thing. But other than that, as I mentioned, as a Queen fan myself, know the history, ins and outs, the history of the band. It's basically shat on. It's like a shit on the legacy. It is the first and second ones are the best. Yeah, I prefer that one. I think because I know through Superman. The only thing from the first one I think I remember is when he reverses the Earth trying to save that time, really. Like he's angered, like Louis Lane's dead. It's like he's angry and rage, and he goes around the planet and reverses time and saves her. And the other one, I do remember actually because there's a funny moment. It's a funny scene that people take the piss out. It's with General Zod. He says, it's like the demand, like, where is Superman? It's like, oh, is it Superman? That sort of thing. Like how he speaks, and people take like, man, that sort of thing. It's like that's from another Oliver Harper commentary that he did with Richard and Duncan back in the day, and it was like a weird highlights when they put on. He did. It's like, oh, is it Superman? That's how he says. Like the usual suspects of this film, but there's two Dutch, attached to it. Yes, I know. Oh God, I know. It's shit. I mean, with anything with Kevin Spacey, it's like God. Again, the life of David Gale. That is one indeed. See No Evil, Hear No Evil. That's another one. Which actually I think it's a good film. Good film with Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor. I really enjoyed that. After a bit. Covered on the channel. Yeah, it's just like one of those good films I really enjoyed. Again, it's really just like, depends really. I think I've got LA Confidential as well, I think, to my knowledge. But it's just, it's also one of the things. Usual Suspects I do own in a box set with Fargo and The Silence of the Lambs, which was that MGM box set they released. I found it at a charity shop, and all it had was the spine, no coverall. This is like an MGM logo, faded. And I had to check when the sign was on the disc, and I was quite surprised. LA Confidential is on my wish list. I'll probably see that actually at some point. Probably need to. There's a lot of films we need to see on a watch list anyway. There's tons, loads. It's like you go on Netflix, you think, oh, that film looks good. I could watch that later and, see, where it goes. It's like, I'll plan to watch that maybe in a few days' time or something. Depends if my schedule or if I'm working. That's the whole thing. If I got, if I have a decent night really, or anything like that, it's like, I'm sold. He's a good actor, but you really have to separate the art from the artist. Absolutely. I mean, Spacey's good. There's a good. I mean, American Beauty is quite a very interesting performance with him, I have to admit. A man going through a midlife crisis, that sort of thing. But I think people tend to stay away from that film very much because it's like, again, it's to do with a father falling in love with his teenage daughter's best friend, very much like in a strong sexual way. It's like, I mean, it's like you probably look at it now and you think you cringe like fuck you do. It's like, oh, it's like you get cold chills from watching him. It's like, oh my god, he's touching her. That sort of thing, and rubbing her chest and everything. It's like, oh my god, him fantasizing, masturbating, bed next to his wife. He's a good. It's that sort of thing. You sort of look at it. It's good director as well. It's directed by Sam Mendes, I have to admit. It's won quite many awards. It's been parodied quite a few times as well. But it's a film it's a film you have to take with a grain of salt because of what is included and what he does in that film. You really have to take a pinch of salt, let's say a handful of salt with that one. In a way, even though it's Oscar nominated, everything else and won awards, you really have to take some hesitation with that film. Like I did, in a way, that sort of thing. I do sometimes with other films, really, hesitation. I think it depends, it's like when I watched, what was that film? I reviewed in Series 7 reviews. It was Kids, the Larry Clark film Kids, which was written by Harmony Korine, 1905. I had to really take a big pinch of salt with that film in terms of what was shown in that bloody film. I do want DVD as well, I do. Which surprisingly they've actually released in the UK. I'm surprised that Memento Pictures actually did release that. Even when I talked about the film anyway, I did flat out mention I never saw the films involving preteens having sex. I mean, it it delivers a message. It does, involved with the whole AIDS thing, of course, like passing around like this kid who I can't remember the bloody name, just this 40-year-old, 15-year-old guy who has HIV or some STI or something. He goes around fucks girls, really, just spreading the disease around. Thinks it's bloody funny in a way. It's that. It's like who? Why do that? How really? I mean, Harmony Korine. That's a different thing with him, really. Writing it, it's like always just going to deflower up ladies around New York, around the Bronx, or whatever. My old college had a DVD of kids in the library. I never took it out. Yeah, it's a good thing you never did really. I came across kids minute where Channel 4 did a documentary. They did like a 4-part documentary of stuff like censorship they did, and they talk about all sorts they did, different subjects. Kids was one of them that brought up. And they do show some scenes, of course, involving preteens having sex. In a way, it's like obviously around that time, it was shocking. It was absolutely shocking. It's like when you look at, I mean, that film, and also they brought up Crash as well, the '96 film based on the J.G. Ballard novel. Yeah, I first heard about the film from around the UK. Yes, also. Yeah, that's the thing. That's when I thought, yeah, they still have it on YouTube somewhere, that 4-part. I thought, oh, what? Yeah, it's like when you first come across it, you think, wait, what? It's like, it's not like, you think like, oh, it's not like Don't Look Now with Donald Pleasance and Julie Christie, that sort of thing. It's like, oh, is it this stuff? It's like they think like, oh, we have to mention Don't Look Now, the Nicholas Rogue film, don't we? Bring this up. We bring this up, and I think it's a bit more to a extreme. But also, most of those actors, well, the people who actually portray the kids, are not really actors. There's basically kids come off the street, really. It's like first, I think like the director, they basically pick them off and think, you'll do, you might be all right, you can come aboard. It's like when Harmony Korine meets him in a bloody park or something and says, I've done the screenplay. Would you direct it or something? Or how is it known as Crash? I know some councils in the UK banned it. The BFC passed it as an 18 uncut. Yeah, again, I've never seen Crash really. I need to. Well, I've seen tiny snippets in that documentary banned in the UK involving David Spade and a woman with a leg brace on, giving the good old anal in a convertible, and that's about it in a way. Strange. I probably never see that in a HMV or something like that. I don't know, unless it's on eBay. Who knows? Don't Look Now is now 15, despite the infamous sex scene. Not seen it, but I've heard of it. I've seen little snippets. I think there was a documentary or something like that involving the censorship thing. Anyway, what was that film? Crash. I don't know if there's actually a DVD, UK DVD. I don't know. I've only heard about it, but I've never seen the whole film. I know about Nicholas Rowe because he did A Man Who Fell to Earth, and that gained of controversy. I have to look at David Bowie's knob throughout. Sometimes from the picture, it's like, wait, what? Oh God! It's like not that size, really. In a way, if you look at it, think, oh my fucking God, do I have to look at that? So yeah. Ballad, because I remember knowing about Crash. Well, the actual story of Crash, I knew about when it was. What was it? There's a documentary about synth pop. They did there's a band called. I've never seen Crash. To be honest, it looks fucking crap. It depends, really, in a way. It's talking about Cronenberg, so I don't know. I really don't know. Actually, it's like I just don't really know. Ooh. However, our video have released a version just recently. Anyway, that's recent. Oh. Well, that's one thing. You can get on Blu-ray now if you wish to. God, because I remember when there's a band called The Normal, synth pop band, very early, like late 70s stuff. Did a song called Warm Leatherette, and apparently for the music video they just incorporated stuff. They just basically just filmed the bass stuff on around the book. They did the Fly 96 and Videodrome. I watched this. Yeah, Videodrome. Yeah. What was the one I got? I've actually Rabid. I've seen. Rabid. That was a film my mother showed me. Actually, believe it or not, showed me the trailer. I think she told me about what was going on. Like, oh, this woman gets caught in a motorcycle accident, and when she wakes up, she has to like taste like she's gotten rabid or something like that, and causes a weird pandemic. That's what I knew about with Cronenberg's with that film. Really, I've seen Naked Lunch. I've seen that film. It's a bit bizarre, a bit weird in a way. That is strange. Only because Peter Weller was in it around the time because he was. I think he was meant to do. I mean, it was all they were planning him to do RoboCop 3, but he was doing this Cronenberg film, and I looked at and because again through Oliver Harper when he did this retrospective of RoboCop 3, there's a picture of him of Peter Weller, like trench coat and cap, smoking a cigarette, and some weird alien creature. I thought, what the fuck's this film? And watched it on streaming years ago when I had a Fire TV stick I did, and it was a strange experience. It was a bit of a weird experience. It was. I can't remember much about it now, but if you probably search that video, the movie reviews video, I think from series 3, I think I covered it. I think it probably mentions a bit more actually on that one. But it was a strange, weird experience that was. Just all the things really. Christ. Hey. Oh, it's been a long day. David Cronenberg. I'm trying to think what David Cronenberg actually last time directed, really. He did Naked Lunch, of course. I remember seeing. Not really now. I do own Scanners though. After that, yeah, this one, Raven and Scanners, I do own. I've gone DVD. Scanners, I think I've seen briefly actually. I think to my knowledge, but that's always been the infamous one. Again, head explosion, everything else, that sort of thing. Yep, obviously. That's what Scanners is famous for, of course. Very good. Howard Shaw. Always Howard Shaw with these films, isn't it? What was the first time that you worked with him? Let's have a look. Fast Company, I never heard that film. The Brood. Howard Shaw. So The Brood was the first one he actually worked with Cronenberg, okay. And actually his first score of a different film. Okay. But since then, have obviously they've been. Actually, no. Michael Kamen did Dead Zone. Of course. Howard Shaw did most of it, really. He did The Fly. Anything else? Yeah. Yeah, Naked Lunch. I remember seeing that one. So that's the one. Really way bizarre. William Burroughs. That's what it was. Yeah. You can get yourself for the beat writers. It's always been weird stuff. I think there was another one actually got Last Exit in Brooklyn. That film. Hubert Selby. I think it is. He wrote that one. It is, yes. Selby Jr. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I do have the film version of that. I do. Where it is. I need to see it actually. I do want it. German British. Ah, okay. Right. And Mark Lockwood does the music. I don't think who's in this actually. Sam Rockwell, Burt Young, Stephen Lang. Stephen Lang. Actually, I do want that because I'm never getting it. I found it cheap in a CX. I did, and there's also like a double edition, like something with Robert Downey Jr. and like it presents a documentary or something. Interesting. To do. I'm just looking around. Fly. I think the thing that I only tend to own by the Fly is that a song Ferry did called "Help" used the Fly, but never actually ever did. Pearl's accomplished that years ago, from the late '80s. But yeah, it's a pretty good, interesting one. Ooh. I'm just trying to think what I can really think of, like to get on the watch list. Why is there films I can do? What I can want to see? Oh, there was a film that I saw a trailer of, and problem is it was released on just the UK. It's not on DVD here. I have to get a bloody import at some place called Swing. It's a film called Swing, and it's to do with this guy called Martin who actually spent quite a few years in prison. But during prison, he ends up meeting this cellmate, this black with how do you call it, mandals like that, you know what I mean, and teach him to play saxophone. And once he's released, he wants to form a swing band. So he hires his ex-girlfriend ex-girlfriend is now married to the police officer who arrested him, sent to the prison to sing the band, and also get a brass section from a mob boss as well. And it's got Alexis Sale, and who else? I'm trying to think. There's a few people. I'm trying to think. I saw it and I thought, oh, that's a pretty good film. And I thought, I wonder if there's a DVD version about it. There is one, but it's a different country, but it's still region 2, so I can probably maybe get it at some point. But it looks interesting actually, because I do like some decent little musicals, really. Indeed, it's up my alley actually, because it's got a Hugo Spear, Lisa Stansfield, who's the one there, Clarence Clements, who was the Bruce Springsteen's saxophonist, well, until he passed away. Alexis Hale, Paul Usher, who was in Brookside the Bill and recently in some parts in EastEnders as well. He's in it as well. It does look like a good film because it's set in Liverpool actually, believe it or not. Let me find the plot of it as well. Actually, it doesn't. But you get all these people anyway coming in. Again, it's like, you form a band to see what happens. It's like Commitments type style. But it looks interesting. Looks interesting. Also, Lisa Stansfield doing the that sort of thing. I think you might as well advise a good soundtrack. There will be some actually. I think I've noticed because I have bought a couple of imports from like Germany or whatever recently. Last time I Convergence one. There's quite a few actually I bought from my mother actually. She's mainly stuff with Cillian Murphy in, really, but that seems like I'm interested in doing. Get this DVD. If it's region 2, fine, that'll be a good choice. Well, yeah, that'll be something actually. There's always some good films you want to see, but there's no bloody DVD release of it. It's like, I was still trying to search for that Road to Wellville, really, but they still charge high prices for it. I mean, it was only really. I think I can still get it some point. I got the Ruin Mystics and Balias on US import. Fair enough, actually. I was also trying to think. What was the one I saw? I wonder if that exists anyway. There's a film I remember seeing called The Men's Club. Men's Club. Peter Medic, who directed it, he did The Craze. For what he did, he was the director of The Craze, the one that Kemper was in. A good film. Um, have a look. I own a Region copy of Clerks, the animated TV series, which I burnt onto Region Zero DVDs. I do know Clerks had a TV series. It came from Music Magpie of all places. I do get some stuff from Music Magpie actually. Usually for the DVDs. Some CDs I got to go from World of Books of all places, really, because they're selling them from there. So there's a Blu-ray, but there's a UK copy of it. Who knows? I know there's a UK VHS of it, but I don't really know. I see. Yeah, I just realised what it is. Of course, a lot of factory films never get released on DVD, or never do, really. I'm just looking at the cast list on this film, actually. I was interested. So, uh, David Dukes, Richard Jordan, Harvey Keitel, Frank Langella, Roy Schneider, Craig, was it Wasson, and Treat Williams on that one. American Pop, I don't think got VHS release here. It still has the old AA certificate from the BVFC. Okay. Really? I wonder. American Pop. I think all the rest did get VHS release same, but just not that one. Let me have a little check. A little peep. American Pop. Music Vision. I'm checking Video Collector. See some pop. I don't know. I don't know if it might be preset. I don't know. It might be really some presets. I'm not too sure really, but I'm having a little peep anyway. The rest did. Most of them really never did really. Doesn't seem like it, in a way. So that's so called Music Vision Entertainment. Let me have a look. Let me have a look. Come on, come on, come on. I mean, well, that's all. Yeah, that's more US version. That is on that one. Yeah, so I don't think there's ever been a UK release of it, really. Some species. Speaking of which, so one of the main things I used to do when I was DVD collecting, I always used to look out for stuff by different companies. One of the companies I was interested in actually getting DVDs from was actually that distributed was Entertainment Video, largely because there's a lot of I was really into actually collecting them. A lot of these DVDs. The German version of Coonskin I ordered is rated 16. The UK is an 18, of course. Same goes to the Last American Virgin I've got. That's rated 16 in Germany, 18 in the UK. So it's a similar thing. I was looking for some of these films I actually remember getting. Oh, yes. So I'll probably show you some of these films. I do want these on DVD, but I used to collect these, but I never actually bothered watching them at some point. I used to get a lot of the 18 rated Entertainment and Video DVDs. So that's one. That's the first one, 15 minutes. Rob De Niro and Edward Burns. That's one I got. I never saw it. Well, not yet, really. Who knows? What else do I forget? It's rare to see a film 18 rated in Germany. Most 18 rated films here are 16 in Germany. Yeah, it seems strange actually, but That could just be the limit, really. We don't know what Germans really think, really. Depends on what the mindset is for a German. We don't even know. They'd probably just be like young sadists or something. I don't know. American Psycho is another one which I've seen and enjoyed. I thought it was a pretty good film. Interesting, I thought. Let's see, what was it? Those were 18 ones. I'm trying to think of the ones. Blade, that's the other one. That's the other one I got. I got that box set I did. With 2 and Trinity. Blow. Ah. Here's the other one. That's another one. Johnny Depp, Penelope Cruz. That's another DVD I actually do on. I saw American Psycho on Netflix about a month ago. It's a very good film. It is actually, yeah, because I think I bought the DVD years ago, but I sort of watched it on Netflix for the win, really. Christian Bale's great. He's really good. He captures the way manicness he does, in a way. If you look at it, very eccentric, has his passion, is very passionate about stuff, but he's also a complete fucking nutcase, he is. And I don't know, he pulls it off very, I don't think he does like some sort of roles like that as much, it's all so brooding. It's like, that sort of thing. You don't get as manic as that in American Psycho. Christ, no wonder it's one of his best films ever. What's the other one? Boogie Nights, that's the other one. I still need to see Boogie Nights. Good soundtrack. And Mark Wahlberg as a porn star. That's something. What else? I could be misremembering this, but I found an old EV intended release in HV I didn't buy it. Flash God. Oh. A family friend of mine did have Flash Gordon. Because I did some babysitting years ago, and there's a film that was sticking out near a computer, and it was that film, Flash Gordon, I saw, and I thought, what the hell's this? Is it a rip off? It's a rip off Flash Gordon, I've noticed, but it was strange. I sort of looked at it and thought, what? I mean, it's like I never really seen Flash Gordon fully. Well, not really. I know about the DVD. I know it was released on DVD at the time, at that point, but I never saw it until, I know there's a sequel they did back in the late 80s, and that involves giant, like, talking turds as well. I first heard it from Trailers from Hell. Really? Okay. Let me find it. I wonder if it's on here. Could be, actually, because I think Entertainment Video did release it themselves. I think it is because they were actually original film. Yeah, Flash Gordon porn parody. It is. Where is it gone? Of all things, let me look. I think on here they don't really show the first one, but they do have the sequel. They do. So they did 2 of them. Well, that's a sequel, for what I remember. I think on that one, what I remember with this one, of the title is like space cheerleaders and the one Flash Gordon's penis, apparently. For all I know. That's it. Oh, and that bloody where's it at? Yeah, can't really see it. It's not the best quality, but again, it's still the HV website. Yeah, 599. You can see Flash God. I mean, the sequel's quite vulgar as well. The sequel is quite weird as well. I mean, I was talking about this little scene earlier. That's just doing an octopus like involving fondling the lady. It's like they pin the lady down, then the octopus fondles them, or gets underneath the dresses or something. It's like God, really. You know, it's like sort of low. You know, it's like really just gone that sort of that down. Really, it's all its humour. Oh God. Um, but I do. I remember the first one. I do briefly because I remember again seeing the DVD cover. Maybe I can give it a watch. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. Ooh, now there's a good film actually. I remember really enjoying, and I thought that's a bloody good film. That is. Highway. I did a review of that in Series 7. I did. That's a really good film. That's a really good film. That is actually. Good cast: Jake Gyllenhaal, Jared Leto, and Selma Blair. It's basically a road trip movie. Two friends who are from Las Vegas. They live in Las Vegas, and they leave out of town. They do largely because Jared Leto's character was fucking a mob boss's daughter, wife. He was a pool cleaner. He was basically cleaning the pools, and obviously the wife seduced him, and they end up having sex together. Really, husband walks back. He's like some dangerous criminal, and actually tries to hunt him down. And you got that's J Lo's character, and who was actually what's it called? Jack. He's called. So he's a pool attendant. Yeah, and he basically wanders around like standard clothes, where he wears sandals and nothing else in that one. So it's like he quickly escapes. And then you got Jake Gyllenhaal's character, who's called Pilot, who is a stoner, who's basically like a valley boy. If you want to see a good Jake Gyllenhaal performance, I definitely recommend this. I definitely recommend this film. If you want to see like him as a stoner, it is good. You know, he's very likable in this film. Very likable character, very like a type thing really. He insists they go to Seattle, and because he wants to see this old flame he had or something, some woman he met, some girl he met, and he's like, we'll go to Seattle and see her, and they go on misadventures. They take a car and they head off on a road trip to Seattle. They do, and on the way they meet a drifter who played with Selma Blair. I think she's called Cassie, sort of like prostitute, stripper, hiker, something like that. And then basically she joins on board and falls in and has the romance with Jack. They also encounter a guy who I forgot his bloody name, but what's his name? John C. McGinley. He's basically like this weird hippie free spirit fella. Quite funny actually. Interesting. Introduces this pirate to hard drugs and whatever, like the weird like psychedelic drugs and whatever. And stuff happens. So they go to Seattle, and towards the climax of the film, Jack's legs get broken because that's the original intention of the film. Really, like the mob boss that his wife he showed wants to break his legs, and he actually literally does. And in the end, he's basically on crutches and casts and whatever. Pilot just meets the girl. Esau meets the girl, but she's like this drugged up hippie or something. Like she's really like, nah, Cobain's dead, that sort of thing. It's like, well, I came here for nothing, really. In his way of life, and he buggers off back. So I think he goes back to Las Vegas, and because he leaves a girl who's this like ditzy fat woman or something, like this fat bitch or whatever, at this trailer park. And it's like, I'm going to find the woman I know for a long time, like childhood sweetheart type thing. And it's like, well, I found her, but she's bloody useless and she's doped over her head. And it's like, yeah. So he goes back to Las Vegas anyway, and goes back to her really, while Jack and Cassie stay in Seattle really, while he's recovered. And basically his legs broken really. But it's just a good film. Also, there's a weird scene involving an alligator man as well, like half boy, half alligator in the film. It's strange. It's set in 1994 as well. It is. So it's a good film. I wasn't too sure what to make of it when I first saw it, and when I watched it, I thought actually it's a really good film. Actually, I was quite surprised when I first, watching it. There's something interesting about it. It's a good road trip movie. Actually, definitely worth checking out if you can. What else is there? There's In the Mouth of the Madness, John Carpenter film, underrated Carpenter film, pretty good film, good soundtrack. Sam Neill's got great performance in there. Kickboxer. Ah, good Van Damme film. Very good Jean-Claude Van Damme film, that is. I really do enjoy that one. But again, it's just another good film. And it's just, or again, similar to, it's like similar to Bloodsport, but it's been more, come on, depth to it, I would say, in terms of Bloodsport. I think. But I really enjoy that one. Live in Las Vegas. Good film. Nicolas Cage, drunken author, dies at the end. There we go. Last Man Standing. Bruce Willis film set in the 1920s in Texas. I need to watch it for Man Madness, but it was never released on DVD here. I think it is. It was released on VHS first, so I remember from here, but I think it's on DVD anyway. If I can check it out. I'm pretty sure it is. Give me a little second. Oh, really? Huh? You always kind of think like they should release some in the UK, really. Yeah, you get this. You get that one. You get that the box set, you know, but doesn't really catch it. Really, it depends if it's successful or not. It's like you probably still get like a DVD version of Village of the Damned from '95, but I don't know really. Actually, hold on. Ooh, I think found it. No, that's a bloody VHS cover. No, that's not it. No, I thought, oh yeah, I found the DVD cover. No, it's bloody VHS cover. Ah, Images lied, didn't they? Yeah. Oh, that was. God, who knows? They should really release that one. I did see Prince of Darkness that did in CX as well. Studio Canal version. I think they're going for a bit of a high price actually. I've noticed. Something like about 20 quid or something. Believe it or not. It's like what? Oh, well, not getting that then. At the time, really, when I first saw it a couple of years ago. Big ups. I was going back to entertainment video as well. It was actually one of the films I remember. See. Wild Things. I do love that film actually. It's a strange film involving it's an erotic thriller with Denise Richards, Neve Campbell, Matt Dillon, Kevin Bacon, Bill Murray, and who else? Someone else. I don't know really, but it's one of those films you're sort of caught off by, but it's a film I sort of go back to sometimes. I do consider it's one of my favourite films. Strangely, I placed it number 13 really, but it's just like one of those things really. I remember seeing it first time on the channel TCM, Turner Classic Movies, and it was a scene when Bill Murray defends his client Matt Dillon for sexually attacking these girls, Denise Richards and Neve Campbell, and he does this whole thing, but he wears a neck brace as well, like he thinks he's having whiplash or something, and he sort of like a blue suit, and he sort of storms the whole room really, like with his presence or something, and he's like some sleazy lawyer. He's a sleazy lawyer, very much lives in a small car and just like sort of gets an out free jail-free card really. And I think afterwards they reconvened. It was actually a plan. It was like they planned this court case thing, and the cash gab. Who is it? Denise Richards' his wealthy mother, I think, and it involves like a threesome really. I just thought that all changed the channel because with visitors round, believe it or not, when visitors round, of course, like two young kids, of course, roaming around the bloody house really, my house really. So I had to change it. Just wait, no. I mean, like young kids. You're talking about 7 roughly. So they can't be, they can't be walking and see a threesome on TV or something. It's like all those things. It's just like, yeah. But I did watch it since then, like on what do you call it, like Daily Motion or something like that. And I really got into the swing of things, that film. Then I saw it in Poundland, the DVD. I thought, yep, I'm getting it, absolutely. That sort of thing. But again, it's like I sort of look back and I think it's interesting. I mean, of its time, really. 98, that come out. When I first knew about it, when I first saw it actually, I thought, is it to do with like two psychotic killer twins? Like one's sort of good and charming, and like one's dark and emo. Very much like to do like there's like two twins who just do it fun or go like a murder spree. It's like you got Matt Dillon can make it in their sights really. It's like you get like two detectives going to that mystery, like what are these twins doing? That sort of thing. That's all. How would you sort of thought about things? I was totally wrong, very wrong in a different way, and yeah, it's just one of those things really. But I don't know. It's a film I tend to go back on sometimes. Really, don't know why. Okay. I'm gonna have to say, really, to be honest, I really don't. And it has gone dark. Yes, it has. Tends to do, yeah, because I did some recording videos at some point, and I did like a session of recording 2 videos, which reminds me actually, there's a new short series coming out in September. It's called What If, which is to do with TV shows, but like seasons that have never been like you make your own season, like how it works, like or what if this was released in a different year? It's like anything like that. So we got never do really. But I've done the first 2 episodes already. That's going to be releasing like on a Monday in September, early September. I think 6th of September. That's going to come on 4:30. I've done the first 2. I'm doing about 13. I'm like until just like a short series, only 13 episodes. That one. I planned 6 already, and maybe over 7. I'll think of what will come out of that. Really, sounds good. It does sound good actually, because I've been thinking about it quite a few times actually over time. It's been reoccurring thing to us of actually trying to, with the TV series. Well, half the series. I mean, the first 6 to do with like children's TV shows really, just to begin with, as a starting point. Then the main 7, the over 7 ones are to do with other TV shows, like maybe do sci-fi. Could be actually with like crime dramas, something like that. Really. It's like, what if this continued? This series continued in whatever, like this series, California series in like 96. He had his original run from 93 to 95. That sort of thing. It sort of gives you possibilities, and I thought like that can work actually, in a way. And some alternative version, like what if this series happened? If the pilot was successful, what would this series all come out with? What stories would you get? What episodes would you get? How many episodes would you really get in a series? Really, that sort of thing. It sort of gives you weird. It gives you multiple questions. It gives you like weird ideas, and it's like, yeah, it could possibly work actually. I think in some cases it could probably like, it could be like you don't mess with the history, but you add a little nugget to it. Like nothing ever happened in that year. I was supposed to have it, like you would do like a series, like an actual series itself, like you do the original series, the original run. But what if you do like there's like 2 series of a show, like the first series came in 1984, and the second series came out in 1986. What if the third series come out in 1988? What would the possibilities be? That's what back as the question, and that's what I saw going with. Like, what if you have like some good ideas? Some interesting, like story, like episode ideas, and you think that fits well with that one, that fits well with that story in that series. Make 13 of them and set it whenever. You can also twist it around, mess around with it, really. Like I've done, like you mess with continuity on certain series, really. It's like, just one of those weird things. But I've sort of planned out what to get, really. Just some weird ideas. I originally thought about delving into some like unmade stuff as well, but it's like an alternative reality. It is actually. It's like, what if this series was, made, really? It gives you those, again, gives you possibilities like, why they haven't done that before? It's like, it's like, there could be some weird possibility, some weird potential going on. But it's just that, really. It's just like, just a weird thing. But there's only going to be 13 episodes, so it's going to be a short run. I'm not going to do like full thing. It's just like 13 episodes, and that'll be it, really, with that one. Because it depends on the ideas, what will you be limited to, really? You saw that idea can, really. So technically, it'll be the first 6 episodes we'll do kids shows. I'd probably say from 80s, 90s, and probably the start of the millennium as well. It's like 2000, I would say. Then that'll stop. Then we go from 7 to 13, which are more adult, family stuff, really. Like familiar ground, in a way. Like, we'll see. It will be interesting. It'll be interesting. I still need to do some planning to do on the latter half, really. So the second half, I need to do some more planning. But the first half has always been sorted as much, and we'll see. We'll go from there. It'll be interesting. If you wish to comment down on like when it's released in September, you can comment down like what your version or show might be, what that season might be like. Pretty much like if you want a third series of a proper third series, like a 13 episode run of Torchwood, for example. What would the episodes be? What would the concept ideas would be like? What would you think will be faced? If like you can think of, I really trying to think at the top of my head. That was like, what else? Like an actual continuity. Like, you could probably do like, I want this series to have like, it could be like a third series of Chalk, believe it or something like that. There might be a possibility doing a third series of that. I don't even know, unless it's fully rounded by the 12 episodes it's done. Who knows? We'll see. It sounds kind of weird. So yeah. That's a little plug in there. So September 6th, it'll be coming on then. So you have to wait a while. I'm still in production at the minute. Episodes 1 and 2 are done. I still need to film episodes 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then I have to plan out maybe 7. I think 7 as well, actually. That's all be ready. But I think 8, 13, I'll probably need to work on. The last remaining 6, we need to work on, plan out, and film at that point. But it'll definitely come. It's like, so you'll be coming through September. I think through the autumn. You'll get through the autumn anyway. Finish in November, I think you will. Maybe, or early December. We'll see. But there we go. Right. I think we have to finish, I would say. We have to 1/2 I'm getting close to the 2-hour mark anyway, so might as well end the stream. Been a pleasure. It's been great. So it's been actually good. I feel good actually now. It's been a long day though. I've been up since 4:30 in the morning, really. So we'll see how we do. I'll probably do like a weird 24-hour challenge. See how long I stay awake for. Maybe until about 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know. Well, good night, sir. And that's and that's a wrap. And seal or fin or something like that. The end. Anyway, thank you, Dividend Film Blog. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you for next week, which we'll see. It may be Tuesday. It might go back to Tuesday. We'll see. Maybe it might be Tuesday. I don't know. But have a good night, sir, and I'll see you next week for the next stream. Best of luck, mate.